One of the best things about growing up watching shonen anime was seeing the characters train so hard and evolve over the course of the series to become more capable for later epic battles. Goku going from chubby monkey boy to every modern bodybuilder's goal physique in DBZ. Zoro developing a leaner type build from his childhood training and then bulking up over 2 years to a point his chest canonically would make all of them blush. Baki going from a yoked ginger gym bro at age 13 to a mellow aesthetically jacked beast champion fighter at 18 years old. Kenichi going from a scrawny, talentless boy to an athletically built mixed martial artist who overcame all challenges in his way, settling down and starting a family. If you notice one massive trait for a majority of these series, the training is always about pushing yourself to go even further beyond, staying consistent and becoming much more capable, and as a byproduct, not only does strength and athleticism increase, but also aesthetics that IG fitness bros will get a horde of natty or not videos made on them if they achieved it. And this is where a misinterpretation began to spread to fitness lovers who are weebs in a way that we couldn't have predicted. Yes, anime has now inspired millions of people to start training and exercising in general, and that is a beautiful concept to see as someone who grew up in a time long before the great anime shift. But many people take the wrong lessons. People believe training until you can't move, sweating profusely, and going so hard daily is not only going to help them get stronger, but also make a physique by byproduct that would win you medals if you stepped on stage. That is not always the case. Now yes, I have mentioned this in previous videos before about how that type of training is great for building, mental discipline, certain muscles, skill, and conditioning. However, it is not the best if you're going for a certain physique look, because that is not the goal. So a lot of people will do this type of training in hopes that they'll look like a freaking shredded action figure when that's just not the case. The goal of that type of training is either to help you with competition or to go against opposition. Now, if you're a person who's like, I actually don't care about my physique like that or competition, I just want to be strong enough to, carry my mom's groceries or just be more physically capable or feel confident when I take my shirt off or just not feel intimidated when I go out for a walk, that is completely valid, my friend, and respect. But if you're the person who's saying stuff like, yo, I want to be the best like no one ever was. I want to be godlike compared to everyone else. But in reality, deep down, you're like, okay, real talk. I just want a nice looking body so that when I take my shirt off, girls' eyes bug out like the PPG when they see me. That's fine, but that's a different goal entirely. And if you're masking and showing this illusion of like, oh, I train this hard to do this, but I'm trying to do this, you're actually doing 3 things that are holding you back from reaching the results you actually want. Number 1, your appetite skyrockets. This is one of the most common things that sneaks up on many people when trying to lose body fat way too fast. They do too much training to a point they always ramp up their appetite, and hunger makes them eat more and more to replenish the calories burned during their exercise. In anime, the big eater type is great post-training for gaining muscle mass, but if you're a person who is skinny fat, muscular fat, or overweight in general who wants that sexy six-pack, you're unintentionally sabotaging yourself by doing all these activities that ramp up your hunger. Now, make no mistake, because I've done this myself, you can most definitely get great results training that hardcore and stuff like that. However, if you notice that you feel constantly ravenous, constantly in pain, constantly like you have just excess cortisol in your body, then that is doing no good for your transformation arc, and it's actually holding you back from doing the thing that you need to do to reach the results that you actually want for yourself. For example, for aesthetic fat loss specifically, a better thing to do is to switch over to activities like, zone 2 cardio, where you can maintain a conversation while doing your cardio, or just getting your steps in like 10 to 12,000 steps every single day, or that Japanese interval walking style that they just came out with that everyone's been doing recently. These are great at keeping you healthy, burning off the fat, and most importantly, not raising your appetite too much to the point that you want to overeat. For a lot of people, it's hard to switch over to these because, to be honest, they just aren't as fun as more challenging cardios like, MMA or sports. But what I always say is, if you just switch over to this form of cardio for a couple months, lock in, burn off the fat that you want to, that you've been having trouble with, and then you go back to the more athletic fun cardio, it's going to give you a lot better results for your physique if that's what you're trying to do. And there are ways to make this a lot more fun. All right, so for example, you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to audiobooks, you can call a friend and just go on a walk, you can do stuff like use Reels or TikToks or YouTube Shorts, etc. I hate those sort of brain rot sort of things, but if you're on a treadmill or if you're on like a bike or if you're on like, you know, an elliptical or something like that, just scrolling through them does make the time go by faster, and they can help you to just cut off the fat a lot faster. But again, what I always say is, you know, don't overdo it. As a matter of fact, watch my brain training video here to make sure that you're not like falling into the generation that is actively losing mental capacity because of that. And if you're a person who's about to be like, well, that's not true, I actually did that and I had no issues myself, all right, you're unintentionally suffering from 3 things. 1, Dunning-Kruger effect. 2, swimmer's body illusion. And 3, bean soup theory. Number 2, systematic fatigue. If you aren't an athlete with coaches and people who help you with your recovery, you are going to be making this much harder on yourself to fully get the gains you want. When you train hardcore consistently, you can fry your central nervous system. You can overwork your joints, which can lead to injury, and then you won't be working out for months. Then you'll start to lose all the progress from all the time you put in, and you'll negatively affect your sleep schedule. This used to happen to me all the time back in the day. Insomnia from overtraining fucking sucks. And it can also just make you more irritable and more snappy, something we mentioned in depth in this video. Mike Menser and Goku were right. It's important to let yourself recover from challenging work so you can simultaneously grow while shredding that fat off. And number 3, the recovery eats into your real life and consistency will collapse. If you are so exhausted from training and you're not getting paid for it, or are on the journey of doing something that will eventually let you get paid with it, this is going to negatively affect your work, your relationships, your schooling, and a lot more. Also, I'm like Joseph Joestar and Katakuri with my predictions, so I can already hear certain people about to type. But just hear me out for a second. Let's say you actually do have, you know, the will of Goku, Vegeta, Rock Lee, Zoro, Ippo, Kenichi, Baki, Asta, etc., etc. You know, you love training so much, but are you actually competing in something to be training that often for? Or is this just eating away at things you actually have to do in the meantime? Again, anime level training or even cinema training scenes are much better for athletes competing in something, or for someone who is actively like attacking them consistently because they gotta stay ready, all right? That's why they're training so often or working so hard. But unless you are actively competing in something that will give you the chance to change your life or your family's life for the better, there is absolutely zero shame in reeling it back, no weakness or anything like that, to focus on the life responsibilities that you have to do first. That is not weakness. So many people get in their head that is like makes them into a bitch or something like that. That is just not the case at all. Because here's the thing, you have to take care of those life responsibilities first, otherwise you can be severely punished. You can, like, you know, some people have flunked out, some people, like, you know, got held back, some people have gotten fired, some people have been kicked out of their house, some people have been, you know, arrested for not paying certain bills and stuff like that, because everything is so focused on this one thing that they're not even trying to go forward with. They're just doing it because, oh, it helps my mental health. And that's another thing. For the people who say it's my stress relief, if I can't do it, then I can't control myself. I say this as someone who has been there himself, and I say this out of care, but as someone who will willingly tell you what you need to hear. Training should make your life better. If it starts to affect your life negatively in a way where it's breaking it down, then that no longer is regulation or self-care. It becomes you unintentionally sabotaging yourself. Like, do not worry about what other fitness influencers are doing. Find something that works for you and your current life. It's called personal training because it is personal to you. Training nonstop, hardcore, 6 days a week makes sense for people like fighters, wrestlers, football players, etc. Just various high-level athletes. But remember this, athletes have seasons. They have skills to refine. They have stuff to practice for their craft. They have to get ready for certain competition and prep for them certain ways. So that makes sense why they have such higher volume than the average person. Or, you know, like if you're a person who's just born into wealth and you have unlimited free time, you can just, you know, train in whatever you want because you don't really have to worry about anything. It's literally you're being taken care of. Everything is just fine and dandy. Or if you're someone who doesn't have that many responsibilities outside of, like, you know, a part-time job or maybe some homework that you can knock out really quickly, like, that's fine. Like, that's completely fine if you're training more often like that. And the beautiful thing about anime is it teaches you the importance of self-improvement through discipline, sacrifice, growth, loyalty, and responsibility, but not throwing your entire life away just because you want to maintain the ultimate 8-pack. Looking at you, Tagoro. Still my goat, though. Training should always, support and make your current life feel better, but it shouldn't be like a complete replacement for the life. Hell, you can train only 2 to 3 days a week and make amazing results for yourself, as long as you are training intelligently and with intensity. Matter of fact, my newest program was literally designed for people who don't want to spend countless hours working out, or who just don't have a lot of time and who want to build the best anime superhero-esque physique for themselves without burnout and in a shorter time frame. Check it out in the pinned comment now. I actually have a video right here you can check out if you want to learn more about that. And remember this, do not forget this. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so you can literally take aspects, like there are chunks of time where it's like, you know what, maybe I want to focus more on my athleticism now and focus on these. And it's like, okay, cool, like, do you have the time for it? Is it going to affect this? No? All right, boom, knock it out. And then there are times where it's go like, oh, I'm a bit more busy, so let me focus on this little aspect. But you can always like adjust yourself, all right? Don't get into this whole way of thinking where you're like, oh no, I'm stuck doing this for the rest of my life. No, adjust. Like, the time is going to pass anyway, so might as well get a reward from it. And if you made it this far in the video, type Annie Life down below. It shows me you watched all the way to end, and tell me, like, what is your current setup? Are you trying to do more, like, extra stuff than you need to? Did this video help you like realize, oh, maybe you're doing too much? Have you been feeling like crap? Are you doing something that's good for your lifestyle? Like, get a discussion going, because a lot of people sometimes feel like they're isolated and it's like, no one else understands what I'm going through. And that's what the comment section is for, is to show that like this is like a body improvement club. Everyone's doing their best. Shout out to my patrons, and if you're interested in IRL coaching, you want me to be your sensei, just click the link in the description down below. We'll talk on Zoom and I'll see if I can help you. And if you want to reach a certain athletic body type without gassing yourself out, check out this video too. But remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, moment time. Now go get this. You got this. Go enjoy your life.